Welcome to Assembly Bethesda, the place where we gather to explore the deeper currents of faith, art, and the human heart. I'm your host, Hayne Fogarty, and I'm genuinely thrilled you've joined me today. We're diving into a topic that, on the surface, might seem a little somber, but trust me, it's both profoundly haunting and strangely comforting. Gothic angels weeping, tears in heaven and on earth. Have you ever walked through an old cemetery or visited a grand cathedral and noticed those iconic statues and carvings of angels in mourning? You know the ones, wings folded, heads bowed, often with visible tears. What do they mean across centuries? Why do they still pull at us so strongly, echoing something deep within our souls? Let's get into it, because I think there's a powerful message hidden in those stone tears that's worth uncovering.
Now, let's talk about these Gothic angels weeping. They aren't just pretty, albeit somber, decorations in old churches or tucked away in forgotten graveyards. No, they are far more than that. These are powerful symbols, my friends. Symbols that speak to something incredibly universal about sorrow. Just picture it for a moment. A magnificent stone angel, its majestic wings folded in quiet resignation, its head bowed low, almost hidden, and tears, actual tears, etched into its face, or flowing as if they were real, unending streams. These evocative images became particularly common during the Victorian period, but their roots, their very essence, stretch much further back, deep into the original Gothic era, with its soaring cathedrals and its intense, almost raw emotional expression. It's a fascinating lineage, wouldn't you say? These aren't just carvings, they're emotional statements etched in eternity.
What's truly interesting is how these symbols manifest in different places. Take, for instance, the magnificent Amiens Cathedral, a true marvel of Gothic architecture. There, you'll find a famous weeping angel, a profound sculpture, often tied to the memories of war and overwhelming loss. It stands proudly, yet sorrowfully, within those grand, towering arches, not just as a sign of sorrow, but often, remarkably, mixed with an underlying thread of hope. Here's the key, and I think this is so vital. The angel weeps not because heaven has been defeated or because its celestial power has failed, but because it profoundly feels the weight of human pain. Angels, in Christian tradition, are messengers, guardians, beings of pure light. Yet, when they're depicted weeping, it suggests that grief isn't foreign to the divine realm. It crosses over, touching both heaven and earth, uniting us in a shared experience of suffering. It's an incredibly moving concept, don't you think?
But perhaps the most iconic example is the Angel of Grief sculpture by the American artist William Wetmore Story. Created in the late 1800s for his beloved wife's tomb, it depicts an angel literally collapsed over an altar, its powerful wings drooping, its face entirely hidden in utter abandonment. This wasn't typical at all. Most angel grave art before that time was serene, even uplifting. But Story's angel captured raw, unvarnished mourning, the kind that leaves you utterly broken. It became hugely influential, copied for cemeteries worldwide. People saw in it the overwhelming pain of those left behind, not just the departed. So why do these weeping angels resonate so deeply with us? They often mark untimely deaths, tragic accidents, or young lives ended too soon. The angel weeps because the guardian couldn't shield the soul from harm, or because the loss is so profound it seems to shake the very heavens. In their symbolism, weeping angels represent intense grief, yes, but also a persistent guardianship. They're still watching, still present, even through their tears. That, for me, offers immense comfort. You're not alone in sorrow. Even celestial beings share it with you.
The Gothic style itself truly amplifies this sentiment. With its dark stone, intricate details, and an inherent sense of mystery, it beautifully embraces duality, light and shadow, joy and despair. Weeping angels fit right in, don't they? They're beautiful, yet tragic, eternal, yet deeply moved by the passage of time. In cathedrals, they appear amid glorious stained glass and soaring vaults that flood the spaces with colored light, reminding us that sorrow can powerfully coexist with transcendence. The very idea of tears in heaven challenges simple, often simplistic views of paradise as pure, unblemished bliss. If angels weep, perhaps heaven mourns with earth. It points to an empathy from above, a divine response to human suffering. The scripture itself shows God moved by tears, Jesus weeping. Extending that, heavenly beings grieve too. It makes faith feel more intimate, less distant, less cold. On earth, these statues transform cemeteries into reflective spaces. Walking among them, you see sorrow made visible, eternalized in stone. They invite contemplation. Why do we cry? What does loss teach us? They remind us that mourning is natural, even holy. Tears cleanse, they connect, they honor what was loved. They are a bridge between worlds, uniting us in shared humanity and divine compassion.
In art and culture, these powerful weeping angels appear far beyond just gravesites. They continually inspire stories, beautiful music, and profound reflections on our own mortality. They symbolize failed protection, lost innocence, and the often immense cost of love. Yet, even in their sorrow, they also hold a quiet, steadfast hope. By weeping, the angel acknowledges pain without ever being consumed by it. It endures, it watches, it patiently waits for redemption. So the next time you encounter a Gothic angel weeping, remember, it's so much more than just a piece of art. It's a profound bridge between worlds, a powerful, tender reminder that tears fall in heaven and on earth, uniting us all in shared humanity and an incredible divine compassion. That's our time on Gothic Angels Weeping today at Assembly Bethesda. I genuinely hope it gave you something meaningful to ponder, perhaps even a measure of comfort in your own tough moments. Thank you for joining me today. As always, it is a pleasure to spend this time with you. Thank you for joining me. God bless, and until next time,